Vanishing Point, a novel by Keith A. Kenel, 34 of 101. Part 34. Having pulled the SUV into the garage, Marty accompanied Skylar and her stepdaughter through the laundry room entrance to the family room. Once there, her face a billboard of contempt, she pointed at the large gray leather 7-piece sectional that formed a room dominating L and barked, "Sit! Sit and stay until I have the bike out of the Lexus. Got it?" "Yes, Marty," Sarah responded. "We'll stay put." As if accosted by rancid decay, Marty's nostrils flared as she looked at the girls. Shaking her head slightly, she returned to the garage and, closing the door behind her, heard what sounded suspiciously like a little girl emitting a single bark. Marty stopped, turned her head to the side, and tamped down her desire to go back into the house and demand which of the two children had mocked her. "Cross to bear," she whispered, walking back to the GX 460 and opening the lift. "One night and she's gone," she muttered, grabbing the little electric cruiser by the rear wheel and seat tube and cantilevering it out of her SUV. "I wonder what time Carla Kaiser gets up in the morning. Maybe I can drop this child off before breakfast." Walking down the brick-paved drive to her mailbox, Marty looked across the street at her neighbors. "Ugh, those dead palm fronds are out of compliance," she said, shaking her head. "I'll call Jackie and get the board to send them a letter. I swear, this HOA turns a blind eye on certain people." Gathering the mail, Marty tossed most of it in the large trash bin as she walked by and then hit the close button on the garage door opener. She inhaled, steeled herself before returning to the house, and walked back to the family room. "What the hell are you doing?" she asked of the little girls. Skylar's eyes grew big, and Sarah looked at her stepmother wonderingly. "Well, just sitting. Isn't that what you said?" "Just sitting," Marty mocked. "If you're just sitting, then why did you find it necessary to recline the seats?" I was showing Skylar how cool they were." "Lovely. Just lovely. Is that what I asked you to do?" Maybe. I mean, no, but you told us to sit." You have really got to break that habit. What are you going to do? Swim? Play in your room? What?" Sarah looked at Skylar. "Ride bikes? And how are you going to do that? Does Skylar have a bike in her backpack?" "No, ma'am. I thought she could ride my school bike and I'd ride my mountain bike." Marty exhaled heavily. "And that means I need to pump up the pre-calibers tires." "Great." "No, you know what? That's a good idea. It'll get you two out of the house." "Let me get it ready," she said, shaking her head. "You should fill water bottles," she added. "It's hot outside." Marty pulled the spearmint-colored 24-inch wheel Trek from its storage hook. She smiled wistfully as she remembered how eager her husband had been after talking to a salesman at the Trek store by the Suncoast Trail. "Oh my gosh," Mark had gushed. "You gotta check out the bike I'm gonna get for Sarah," he declared giddily, waving a sheet of paper in front of her. "How cool is that?" That had proved to be a nearly $2,000 dual suspension bike that Marty had objected to strenuously. Mark had been insistent, but when he returned to the shop with Sarah and Marty in tow, the young salesman who had previously helped her husband backpedaled on the 26-inch wheel dual suspension bike and suggested that Sarah would fit better on a 24-inch wheeled bike. "I'm just afraid she won't be safe," Adam said, sizing Sarah and shaking his head. "Maybe this Superfly?" The Superfly was a fourth the price of the Fuel EX, but Sarah hated the black color. In the end, they'd walked out of the store with the pretty mint green pre-caliber, a bike that Mark described as barely adequate, but Sarah loved. The fact that it cost well under $400 made Marty happy. Ecstatic with Adam's presentation, the family had returned to the store 3 more times to purchase additional bikes. Marty pumped up the pre-caliber's tires, tilted her head to the side, and said, "Helmet. Crap!"